Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. This episode has been brought to you by the Wine2Wine Business Forum 2022. This year will mark the 9th edition of the forum to be held on November 7th and 8th of 2022 in Verona, Italy. This year will be an exclusively in-person edition. The main theme of the event will be all-round wine communication. Tickets are on sale now, so for more information, please visit us at wine2wine.net.
Italian Wine Podcast, a Wine2Wine Business Forum 2021 media partner, is proud to present a series of sessions highlighting the key themes and ideas from the two-day event held on October the 18th and 19th, 2021. This hybrid edition of the Business Forum was jam-packed with the most informed speakers, discussing some of the hottest topics in the wine industry today. For more information, please visit wine2wine.net and tune in every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central European Time for more episodes recorded during this latest edition of Wine2Wine Business Forum.
Hi to everybody, I'm Alice Alini. I represent the fourth generation of an Italian winery based in Emilia-Romagna. We produce Lambrusco, balsamic vinegar and Metodo Classico. I've been invited here in order to introduce and moderate this business section. Is about how fast our consumer and import trends in Romania is changing. And I'm introducing you Imre.
Ciao, nice to
we'll explain the detail of the presentation. So.
Okay, shortly on me. So I'm Imre Sakachorha. I'm a WSET diploma holder, and I run a local WSET school in Romania. And I have a small import business, but it's not about wine. It's some certain premium products to wineries. And I'm a chief counselor for a wine importer who has a wide array of Italian wine selection. So that's the main reason for me being here. Okay, so good. So how fast is changing? So that was the question, and it depends on the region and the quality of wines. Of course, is very, very usual, nothing uncommon on the Romanian market. So import is increasing steadily but slowly. So the import in Romania to Romania is all the time is roughly double like the export of the country into other countries. With this pandemic, the wines from classic European regions, first of all is Italy, all the time is number one. France and Spain are stable and safe. So if you want to import wines, probably stability is there. We have more and more educated consumers. So I told you I have not the only WSET school, but the other two schools there. So we are the oldest, and there are more thousands of people who already know what it means. International wines, how to put them into the context of quality, which I think it's very, very important. Yeah, sparkling and rosé is booming in Romania as well. So it's very, very important information, I guess. And retail and online purchase is very, very on the increase. So online is roughly, you will see 30-35%. For premium wines, it's even 70%. While the retail is booming to probably 60%. So many producers had really real problems. Mainly, we consider premium producers in Romania who were exclusively on the HoReCa, and they had really big problems with this pandemic period. For certain products, the market is not mature yet. I'm going to tell you some products which are not ready yet. So some of them are already on the market. So this would be kind of what not to import to Romania, not yet. Yeah, but we have a slide on that one. And of course, there is a wide gap between the urban and rural area consumption. So basically, there are three, four big cities in Romania who will soak up all the wine production. I mean, we are talking about the import part of it.
I promise to never interrupt him.
but you
To
can.
not be so Italian and never interrupt him. But one of my first questions before when we have a follow-up was which kind of Italian wine potentially can go in terms of still or sparkling? And I think that in this slide you already answer in a way.
Yes, in a way. So sparkling wine increase from Italy mainly is in the last 2 years is increased 12.5% roughly, while Italian still wine has increased in the last 5 years with 72%. Yeah, so these are valid figures. So I'm not, just it's not from my stomach. So I would say both of them, and I'm really curious seeing what is going on to happen in 2021 by the end of the years, because I'm going to show you some figures already on the first part of the year's first half years. Yes. So we skip this one, how big the country is, and we go directly into consumption versus production. It's a bit complicated, but what you have to see is that starting from 2014, that was the line where consumption was less than production. Yeah, so is the bottom line. Yeah, and it was 2017 basically when it changed. So we produce more than we consume, and Romania there is only once in the last 10 years when had more than 5.1 million hectoliters. So basically is 10th of Italy. Yeah, but we produce more. We consume more than we produce. Sorry, we produce more than we consume, but still there is place for import wines. Yeah, that is very, very interesting. Okay, so this is import and export. You see, that's why I'm telling you how to memorize. If you need to memorize, you don't have to. But export is all the time is half of the import. So we are talking about 30 million euros, and 70 million euros. It's pretty low.
Low.
Absolutely. Seeing again, we talk about all the time about the potential of the wines in the country. But if you have been here and probably attended some of the presentations already, what it means coming from an Eastern European country and struggling your way through, showing that your wines are worth the money. That everybody has the cheap image about the Eastern European wines. Yeah, and I think that is the role of the country to work on this. It's not necessarily about producers, but I'm talking about the implication of the state of government to improve this image on the of the wine. Yeah. Okay, so this is import by country, 18 and 19. As you could see, Republic of Moldova, which is just in vicinity. It's very, very close to Romania. Yeah, which will be a neighboring country. Italy has increased again. You see there is 23%, and Republic of Moldova 26%. We are talking about 2018-19. France dropped that year. Spain is stable. Yeah, when you have a plus and a minus next to each other, it means that it's stable. And Germany increased, and Hungary and others. Yeah. If you have questions, you can ask.
It's forbidden.
Yeah. However, what dropped dramatically, and that's a key issue. Again, talking about in percentage, 18 and 19, is you see that Bulgaria is more than 50%, and Australian wines, mainly New World wines. I'm saying unfortunately because I'm personally is a screw cap friend of wine. So, and probably that most of the wines from Australia that come into the country are screw capped. This can be one explanation. The UK dropped, which I would say it's a very key market for each country in Europe. Israel, yes, and the US market again, and dropped, and France dropped as well. Yeah. So this is a key message for those people.
Imre, when we introduced to each other, you told me that you are a person from education. Mm. Are young people interested in Romania to approach wine? So there is this mentality, a part of young generations.
Yes. So when we talk about youngsters at the age, let's say up to 22, 23, who just basically, if it was in the USA, they would just start drinking, but in Romania, the legal age is 18. they are interested in drinking mainly lower alcohol wines. This is what I observed. We have something that is called spritzer from the Austrian tradition. So easy drinking, fresh, easy drinking wines with soda. I mean, when I say soda, it means mineral water, not the American soda. That is a trend, and low alcohol is very important. Less beer. What I could see, but the cocktail business is in again. So gin is back and things like that. So cocktail is very, very popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Okay, so this is what I showed you. Is the data? The figure is. You see import to Romania from 1920, yes. So it was the first 6 months of 2019 and 20. And you see that 21 is already, I wouldn't say it's nearly the double, but it's increasing there, yeah. Yeah, import by country, again, 1 year later. So we are in 19 to 20. You see again, Italy is first now and the Republic of Moldova the second, pretty the same. So 24% of the market from import is 1/4 is Italy. Yeah, so Spain is back again. France is back again. Yeah, Germany is stable. Hungary is dropped. Yeah, so there are the largest minority in Romania. So roughly 1.3 million people are Hungarian. So that could be an explanation if you don't know anything about the country. That's why you find Hungarian wines there so as well. Okay, so what we have to be careful and to look and be alerted is that, as I mentioned you, so Italy is on a constant increase. Yeah, so the last 5 years it's more than 70%. So I think I would say it's easy to sell Italian wines, but it's not, of course, because I'm going to tell you a bit about the sales channels. Yeah. Okay, so what is increasing here, and for Italy to Romania, as you see that. Even if they are not huge numbers, yeah, and we like to look behind the numbers. And what I like seeing here is that the geographical indication and PDO wines are somehow increasing. So it means we are moving up with the quality. Yeah, could be a lot more money involved here than financial, because we are talking about 848,000 euros, so which basically, compared to the international context, is close to zero. However, what is important for me is the tendency of drinking better wines. Yeah. And what dropped dramatically in the last year, so what increased is the sparkling wine again and the rosé, but what dropped dramatically from Italy is wines in containers between 2 liter and 10 liters. And there is a classification which says simply 2 liters plus, which dropped 45%. And partially fermented must, which is usually 0.5 or 0.5, decrease drop with 60%. So again, which is a trend, again, which says there is a shift to quality. Yes, which is, I think it's great. What is not trendy yet, but should be there, and what is on the market, so ready to drink things. But aromatized wines and seltzer, I could see honestly 2 companies on the market from Romania who already started doing this canned wines already.
So domestic production.
Okay. Yes, I could see that, and only exclusively in retail or at the seaside, at some wine bars and seaside establishments. Low alcohols and zero alcohol wines is not that trendy, unfortunately. Yeah, so there is a kind of, I know it's a niche market and it's an international trend everywhere having this kind of things, but it's not present yet in Romania. And what we could see outside, the kegged wines and things is missing, or the canned wines again. Screw cap is a big issue now, because I'm trying to convince wine producers to use screw cap, and they refuse because they say that the consumer rejects it. However, I know there are 6 or 7 wineries who are going to launch their rosé wines in screw cap next spring.
When you say aromatized wine, what do you mean in this list?
So, which
like a Chardonnay? No,
which means a canned wine which contains the wine and aromas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Light bottles, alternative packages. There's nothing is changing. And this bio classification and vegan wines. Some wineries, of course, like Recas Winery, which is very famous on the international market and the UK market, they will put on their labels if it's low sulfite, it's vegan, or if they have bio certified. So roughly there are eight wineries which are bio certified, but there are more and more vineyards already which are bio certified, but not the wine yet.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that there is a trend. Don't misunderstand me, but there are more and more wineries which will have bio-certified vineyards. What is trendy is on the increase. I told you is the sparkling, mainly the Charmat method, Prosecco, but traditional method as well, mainly champagne, or I wouldn't say Cremant, but mainly champagne, Pétillant, Naturel, so Petnat, again 7-8 wineries already producing this kind of stuff, rosé, spritzers, and the high-end wines. So they are very popular. This is we just had a discussion before. We said it's not really something in between. So either we have entry levels, or we have the very, very high and more. I mean, bottles of more €100, and mainly in the capital city, so Bucharest, and seaside lounges, nightclubs. They will absorb this kind of value, premium level wines. I put there by the glass is very, very trendy nowadays. So there are a lot of terraces there, and it's very, very dynamic. So if you have never been to Cluj-Napoca or Bucharest or Timișoara, my recommendation is to visit it, because everything is booming. Yeah, not now, because probably the situation with the pandemic and COVID now in Romania is terrible. But in the last 3-4 years, more and more, hundreds, or not thousands of wine bars opened in the country. So I think it's the right place being there if you have not been yet. Online, I put it there. So I asked 6-7 retailers the online, how they sell. This is the number, the official number, roughly is between 30-35% of the wines, but mainly the entry and mid market level. So up to €10, let's say €9 wines. Yeah. And in case of very, very expensive wines and premium, or outstanding or top-notch quality is 70%. Yeah, so it's a huge increase there. Okay, just have a quick look at one companies in Romania who has a lot of wines. They have 800 labels roughly, and the majority they have a lot of vast portfolio of Italian wines. And I put on the left by volume and by value. So Minuti, Cadefrate, you see the producer, and you will realize what it sells well, Greco, the 247, Gavi, yes. Yerman is very, very popular as well. But if you see by the value, you will see some expensive wines there, some Super Tuscan, so Ornellaia, Sassicaia, different vintages. So they sell well. Yeah. Nobody will give you this information, so that's why I struggled. I struggled hard to obtain this things. I said it's not a secret. You don't have to give me. Just give me the order. You don't have to give me numbers here.
In fact, another question could be: there is a perception of a different territory, like north, south, from Italy, middle, or Italy is the perception of Italy is altogether one country, or there is the perception.
Is a historic question, or as tradition?
No. Now, in terms of wine selection, I want a wine from north, or I want a wine from south.
So historically, still, is the southern part of the country, which the most famous region is the Alumare, famous for wine, for red wines. So historically is the most important, even nowadays, but. People already know, and most educated people will know, if you are coming from the north, you will have more acidity, lighter styles of wine. So this is what is going on now.
Okay.
So there is a differentiation in that one. A more educated consumer will realize that one. Yeah. Okay. So what is behind the label, and I think that is important. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back here. There is a company who is
because sorry if I interrupt you. It's curious because Tuscany, for example, is a region that sold wine and sold Italy around the world, and in this list is almost missing, if not,
Yes.
it's not, it's a Sakai. So it's curious.
You can guess here
okay.
if you know the brands. If you know the brands, you know which is targeted towards the retail, the key accounts, or which is targeted toward the Horeca or is the on-trade.
Very
business.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so Revino.ra is a company responsible for wine tourism, and they made a very interesting research or market research, and you see at the beginning of 2020, and I wanted to share with you some consumer habits and to see how it is going on in Romania. So 74% were male, 26 female, and the income is very, very important. So you have to understand the financial background of the country. So the minimal wage is around 260 euros. Yeah. So and the mean or the average is roughly 600 or something. So if you know this one, you might think who is going to spend that much money on a wine. Yeah. But it's increasing because if there are certain segments, for example, if you work in the IT, it could be, the sky, the limit, the salary. So,
yeah.
Okay, so look at the income of the people who answered the questions. Yeah, so 22% have an income between 300 and 600 euros. And the maximum is when people asked, 36% of the people will have an income, or monthly income of more than 1,200 euros, which can be 3,000 euro, 5,000 euro. We don't know that one. Yeah, most of them work in the private sector. Yeah, white collar, it means for state. The other ones is self-employed and other. So the majority is the private sector, as you could see there. So, frequency, how often? This is a good question, as we are wine professionals. So daily basis is only 60-70% of the asked people. Most of the people, 46% is 2-3 times they will serve or drink, consume wine. Yeah. After that, we have once a week and once a month. Yeah.
Are you enjoying this podcast? There's so much more high-quality wine content available from Mama Jumbo Shrimp. Check out our new wine study maps, our books on Italian wine, including Italian Wine Unplugged, the Jumbo Shrimp Guide to Italian Wine, Sangiovese Lambrusco and Other Stories, and much, much more on our website, mamajumboshrimp.com. Now back to the show.
Okay, how they decide on what to buy, what to purchase. And it says international wineries, Romanian wineries. So this has increased in the last 3-4 years. So people are turning to the Romanian brands and Romanian grape varieties. Yeah. But we have, I told you, there is space for import as well. So international and Romanian wineries or both which is more than 43%. So it means they will purchase international wines and Romanian wines as well.
I have a question. The Romanian domestic production is more still or sparkling?
It's still red wine.
Still red wine.
Still red wine, yes.
So this justify also the increasing for sparkling wine.
Yes, there is space to increase.
There is this space.
Yes.
Okay.
And this gives a good answer to Italy as well. So why it is so popular having this. If you look at the high end Tuscany wines, say Brunello de Montalcino is more popular. And if I take the highest segment,
an international view, like as everywhere, like Prosecco or something like that, is also just because
from the high end wines. If I talk about Tuscany, so Brunello is more popular than a Chianti Classico Riserva, for example. Everybody wants to drink Brunello, if not Super Tuscan. Okay, wine packages, as you see here, is absolutely the bottle. Yeah, you see 75%. Or even 80% is they preferred purchasing wine, which is the package is bottled. Purchase from the source, where they purchased is, as you see online. It was we are at the beginning of 2020, so it was only 4%. Yes, and this year we're talking about 30-35% in 1.5 years, something like that. Yeah, it's a huge increase there. Cellar door, which is usually 7-10%, now it was closed. Yeah, it has been closed in the last 1.5 years. So you could not really visit wineries. Yeah, so you could not buy from cellar doors. Specialized shops through the online, which was increased now highly. And the supermarket, which was 40, probably will be, which there was 40, probably now will be shift to 60%, roughly, in the future. Yeah, red wine, this is the answer. So what to import, what color, red, white, or rosé? You have the answer here. Yeah, relative to a lot of red wines, but rosé is increasing as well. So, and sparkling, I put sparkling there. It's not a color, but just to see where I would place that one. Dry, which is good news already. Yeah, so majority is going on dry wine. So I was here with the Ukrainian presentation. So when people asking that, what style of wines are in there? So we are drying out, and that's a good thing. Yeah, is the case. It was with. I want to make a comparison between Romania and the Republic of Moldova. So they had the same export market during the communist time. Yeah, so it was Russia. They drink a bit sweeter. When the Russian put embargo on the Republic of Moldova, they were forced to dry out somehow and to import their wines to the West. Yeah, Romania was not forced, but still we're drinking more dry wines. And basically what is on the shelf, yeah. Driving force behind purchasing is own consumption with blue, yeah. Gift is very, very niche, yeah. This will increase again with the online increase. So probably, I'm speculating, but probably more and more people will order a wine on online before Christmas, giving as a gift to friends. Yeah. So for sure that this niche will increase, yeah. And both, yeah. I mean, you see own consumption and both is more than 60%. Yeah. Here with these questions, multiple answers were allowed. Yeah. So that's why you have 40, 30%, and so on. The price is nearly 40%. So when somebody decides to purchase a wine, so which has the key criteria is, of course, many people, if you link it to the income, you see what I mean? Normally they will look at the price of the wine. Yeah. The color is pretty high. The brand is very, very important. So brand awareness is now there. Yes. Variety, ABV 10%. Yeah. Vintage. Yeah. Country of origin is important. Label is not that much. Info on the label. Yeah. More conscious people. I mean, they want to look at that one. Medals are important, but not that important. Recommendations and pretty high the events. So where are there special events? It works. So for wineries, imagine there are roughly 500 wineries, 525 wineries. So it's not that many. If you see the context of Tuscany, how many producers are there? Or you look at Bordeaux. Romania is large as a viticultural area, yeah? But there are officially there are 525 wineries, out of which I would say 200 are not really, really important on the market. So it's a very, very small market producing a lot of wine. So that's why I'm telling you, Romania is pretty competitive in a way. Yeah. This could be an explanation.
So do you think there is more attraction for Italian wine from small wineries, or doesn't matter? They are attracted from artisan concept, or they
are changing depending on, again, if you talk of the sales channel. So if you take the large companies who are going to place your wine into retail, probably is like Pinot Grigios. It's probably the grape variety is more important. Yeah. Or now Primitivo is doing very, very well, or has been doing very, very well. But some importers will stick to small family-run businesses. This is a key issue. Okay. This is very, very important.
Good point. And if I see the list of the most famous and distributed wineries that you list before, they penetrate the market independently, or they were supported from the government, from local. So I'm a wine producer.
Yeah.
What I can do in order to approach and penetrate the Romanian market, considering that I'm a middle winery family.
Yeah.
Cuts.
3,000 bottles, 100 bottles per year, let's say, in this case.
Yeah.
So I would never go around distributors. I would always work with somebody, even if it's a small or a large one, because you need one, because there are some companies there, distributor companies, who have been around for 20 years already. So all the wine business started. So you have to work with them. However, there has been an increase of small organizations, small distributors who are on the market, who can cover some restaurants. If you're in a small town, you can do that one because you know the people personally. You go there, you talk about the wine, you influence them.
Storytelling.
Storytelling.
Works, yeah.
But you will have this wide coverage like the big ones will have. There's a key thing here, I think, how much are people willing to pay? Yeah, price points. Yeah, and you see that nearly half, let's say 43%, is between 6 and 10 euro. Yeah, and which is already considered premium segment, or in Romania, or I think even on the UK market, going to premium, it already is 18%, and 17% is 15 plus euro. But the limit is the sky again, and I told you about, for very, very expensive, highly priced wines. Just to see a price segmentation in Romania from Recas Winery. I told you it's very important for the country. So they cover 32% of the market in Romania. Recas. There are 3 big players there. Even there are 500 wineries, there are 3 big players who will cover 60-70%. But Recas is a very, very nice and smart company because they have a very, very good branding, and it's a profitable business. It's really, really profitable, Recas. So this is entry-level, entry mid-market. We're talking about in euros, just to see how it's going on. Mid-market, upper mid-market, entry premium, mid-premium. Premium is already 16, 20 euros, or the super premium, which is more than 100 RONs, which is local currency, but 20 plus. We don't really have luxuriously priced Romanian wines, let's say 50 euros plus. We have some exceptions, but this is the segmentation, just to understand the market. Okay, the target consumers, just to see another winery, which is called Girboiu. Yeah, so they have bag-in-box, and they have their entry brand, which is crafted for senior citizens, medium income, by the glass, jug wine in restaurants. Yeah, it happens there. Why an upper or mid, let's say the mid-position brand, let's say the Livia, is youngsters, higher income consumer. Why they have a premium wines, it's already for mature market and for the on-trade, for the HoReCa. And that's why they are selling roughly 40% in HoReCa and 60% international key accounts, which is retailers in Romania. Yeah, 55% bag-in-box, 5% bulk, 40% bottle. Yes, these are key examples for you just to understand what is going on there. Grape variety, I wanted to mention that Fetească Neagră, which is a local grape variety, is number 1, and Cabernet Sauvignon is the second one. So roughly, if you want percentage, is 20, 23, 24, both of them. Merlot is roughly 10, 11%, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, other international grape varieties, and other indigenous grape varieties, which is roughly 10%. Each winery will produce Fetească Neagră. They try to produce Fetească Neagră, even if it's a cooler climate or a moderate climate or a warm climate, or the fruit is jammy. And I do think it's an amazing grape variety because sometimes it behaves between Pinot Noir and sometimes it's a kind of Syrah, sometimes it's a kind of Primitivo style. The jamminess depending on the region where it comes from, but it is popular. It is very popular. If I'm thinking back of 20 years ago, so when the first premium brands appeared on the market, they tried with Fetească Neagră, which did not work that well. So after they changed it, the percentage, and said, okay, let's say 70% Cabernet Sauvignon, 20% Fetească Neagră. And in 20 years now, I do think that Fetească Neagră is more important than Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. The problem with Fetească Neagră is the only thing is that there are only roughly 3,500 hectares planted, which is not that much, but probably will increase, but is not that much to cover mainly to cover. People say, why don't you have an international grape variety? I mean, why don't you have a grape variety to step on the international market? And I say, well, if all the Fitasca Negra is soaked up internationally, I mean, internally, you don't have other grape variety to come up with, because nobody wants to drink a Romanian Merlot. I'm sure of that. Yeah. Okay. So takeaways about Romania: it's a dynamic but painfully competitive market. We produce more wine than we consume, but don't forget there is time for a place for import wines.
Increase.
Imports from Italy stable and increasing. That's very important. Big cities soak up the bulk of the wines. So Bucharest, Cluj-Napoca, Timișoara. Retail and online increased during the pandemic. Yeah, so retail might shift into 60%, and online can go there as well. The same numbers probably. And the on-trade was hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. So the HoReCa was destroyed in Romania. So you have to know that one. 400,000 people were involved in the business. 400,000, and half of them were directly linked to the business. But I'm not sure that there are more than 100,000 people left in the HoReCa business. A business which dropped 39%, 40% in the first part of 2021. We don't know what is going on now, because probably a lockdown is coming. So the HoReCa will be hit very, very hard. Okay, indigenous grape varieties like Fitasca Negra are very popular. Consumers will get more and more educated. And still, we hope so, and it is so. Yeah. So, and people are welcoming traditional but open to the new. So that is very, very important. So it's an Eastern European country, Romania, the people are very, very welcoming. Yeah. So it's safe to go there, and you feel well. So okay. So if you have questions now.
I have a question about the wine consumption in Romania. Do you have any number? Because all numbers are different, and there are legends that the consumption of the wine is very high. Do you have any number from the market? What is per capita consumption?
I heard something today here. Once I think it was the Ukrainian presentation, when they say 4 liters or something like that, or 0.4 per capita.
Yeah, it was very.
Romania, as far as I know, is the OIV numbers. They did not publish last year, but before that one, it was 27 liters per person per capita. It's very similar to Hungary.
Yeah, it's very similar, and it's very high.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, 27. Probably you know that. I don't know why. I checked the figures, the OIV. I could not find this information, because 2 years ago it increased, because it was around 20, 23, 27 per capita. Yeah, so it's pretty high.
So wine consumption is increasing.
Absolutely. Yeah? Absolutely. If you think, I'm not sure if it was the same in Italy, but probably yes. I guess in the 90s. So the key issue there, that still there are some regions that we produce their own wines. I mean, the people at home, they will have domestic wines, which is not fiscalized, but any kind of events or special events, they will consume their own wines. And this is still around there.
We were sharing that also the domestic production influence the domestic consumption, but also open the consumer to consume more wine, because we saw even around the world that this is the rules. The country that produce wine consume more wine in a way. Yeah, it's a part of the culture, so they represent probably their own domestic production, and this reflects on the internal consumption.
There are a lot of wineries there. I mean, famous Italian. So Sassicaia, and I have been around for many, many years. Gaia is there. Okay. But if you start now to penetrate the market, so that's what I'm telling you. So you need a media, somebody in between, a buffer, than going directly to.
Yeah.
That is very, very important.
I represent all the wine producer.
I would like to know what are the most popular, the main Italian wine regions and grape varieties popular in Romania.
Grape varieties.
Yeah.
Okay.
And wine regions.
Yeah, I've been thinking the answer for we take the 3 classic European countries: Spain, Italy, and France. Why is Italy so popular? There are many, many things, but if I take only the label and grape varieties, probably as Italy for us is simpler than France, because France seems to be very, very sophisticated with the label and appellation d'origine contrôlée. Okay. Of course, the people are drinking Brunello de Montalcino, and educated people will know that is a Sangiovese behind. But in some cases, they don't know what they are drinking. But the good thing is that you have wines like Pinot Grigio, which is a varietal labeled, which is very, very important mainly for the retail. So imagine Pinot Grigio saying Veneto. People will be very, very difficult for people to decipher the origin of that, what is behind that. Primitivo and Puglia is very, very trendy now. So I don't know if there are wine bars in Bucharest will not serve by the glass a Primitivo. So it's a must to have a Primitivo nowadays. Of course, what started, and if I'm going back again, let's say 15 years, what was number one is all the time was the Amarone. Everybody started there. Amarone, the Barolo, and this style of wines. Yeah, but now more and more people, mainly medium income or novices to the business of wine, will get Italy either from, I would say, Pinot Grigio, or the other one is absolutely the Primitivo and Prosecco, of course. If you talk about sparkling wines,
And what about organic wines? Is the market
organic wines? Yeah, I told you, I know what the situation is with that one because I did a research. So there are 7 or 8 wineries who are organically certified, but the number of organic vineyards is increasing. Yeah, but few. So if I'm thinking hard, I can even tell you exactly what the hectarage, how many hectares are organically certified. So it's not. Yes, new consumers will have this very, very conscious approach, looking at the label, what they are consuming. Yeah, but it's all the time. Look at the income of the people. Yeah. So if you look at the income and you say, wow, who are the people who permit to themselves to look at the label, buy more expensive food? Let's say because we start with the food when we talk about organic things. Yeah. But I do think that is important. But it's small amount. Yeah. So it's in baby shoes. So.
There is a culture, the research about match food and wine and food.
Research not, but now it's evident. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. So there are no events where food is not served. At least some cold cuts, some salami and things like that. And more people are going now in investment, and we have a lot of TV shows have started recently, have promoting this mainly the food, and after the next to it, a food and wine pairing.
Do you have other questions?
My email is there, so if you have other questions or for any reason you need really, really, really exact figures on the industry or things like that, I can help you with that one. So you don't have to struggle to Google and to ask yourself if is it true or not. Yeah, I can help you with it anytime. So no question with Lambrusco.
I ask by email. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Imre, for the cool presentation and for the Romanian potential.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody for being here. So have a nice evening.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode brought to you by the Wine2Wine Business Forum 2022. This year will mark the 9th edition of the forum, to be held on November 7th and 8th, 2022, in Verona, Italy. Remember, tickets are on sale now, so for more information, please visit us at wine2wine.net. Guys, I'm Joy Livingston, and I am the producer of the Italian Wine Podcast. Thank you for listening. We are the only wine podcast that has been doing a daily show since the pandemic began. This is a labor of love, and we are committed to bringing you free content every day. Of course, this takes time and effort, not to mention the cost of equipment, production, and editing. We would be grateful for your donations, suggestions, requests, and ideas. For more information on how to get in touch, go to ItalianWinePodcast.com.